Shalom.
Shalom.
Welcome everyone to LJ's Spurs chat. Joining me tonight, all the way from down under, is Milton.
Howdy, lads. How you going?
How you doing, Mush?
Yeah, freezing me balls off, but yeah, all good, mate.
How you doing, Simon?
Come on, these Spurs.
I'm hanging in there, mate.
You're hanging in there, right? Tonight, sir. Just a quick
day two after Sonny.
Yes, day two after Sonny. We'll have a quick thing about him. It's a bit sad to see him go, Simon, isn't it? But at the end of the day, I think he left at the right time. Do you?
Yeah. 100%.
Best to him now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Last season was painful.
Hello, Levy. How are you, my friend? Psychedelic king of YouTube.
Oh, Paul Beatty, captain.
Yeah, lovely man. Right, let's crack on with the reaction of Daniel Levy's interview. I don't know if you saw it, Simon. I've got a few headings here, so I'll read through some of the headings and what he said and gauge your reactions. The first one is involved in the footballing side of Tottenham Hotspur. Levy was saying, and I quote, "I do not interfere at all in the decision-making of this player versus that player. It is always the coach, always a technical staff. The only time I get involved in is when they decide which player they want to buy, for instance, or which player they want to sell. I will go out and do my very best for this football club. I'm not interfering in the football decisions." So, Simon, what do you reckon to that?
I mean, that may be true that he doesn't get involved in the decision-making as such, but what he does get involved in is going out there and lowballing people and trying to get a ridiculous price for players that really he's not going to get. And sometimes that works, and most of the time it doesn't.
I think you've said it all in a nutshell. He is the one, yeah. Milton, what do you think to his comments on that one?
To me, I honestly find his voice annoying. He's just got a head that I want to smack, to be honest. I don't believe a word that he says. And when I watched that interview, every time Neville asked him a question, you could see the cringe on his face, like, why are you asking me that? Like, you could see his reaction. So I don't believe a word that he says. I reckon he's involved in every little detail. And at the end of the day, if a manager wants a player, he'll go over the top and say, no, you're not getting that, you're getting this. So I don't believe a word that he says. Yeah, I do believe he does have the best interest in the club in a profitable way. That's about it.
Not a footballing
He's
way.
not. Yeah, not a football way. We're a business. We're an organisation. That's all we are. We're not a football club. Because if we were a football club, and to please the fans, you would make season tickets cheaper, give pensioners discounts, kids half price, cheaper beers, cheaper food. That would bring more people in, which will still make the same amount of money at the end of the day and still please the fans out there. But for him, he doesn't care.
Yeah. Strong words there from Milton. I'll tell you what, though, I don't know if Simon watched the interview, but you obviously did, Milton. I thought that I like watching Gary Neville's overlap, but I think he missed a really important question. He should have said, but I'm guessing now in hindsight that certain things that he won't be allowed to ask. That's why Levy don't come out in public. Right? He should have asked him about the wage to revenue thing, which is the lowest at 42%, and he didn't ask that question. Didn't ask that question, to be honest.
I mean, ultimately, it's just a puff piece, and basically, I reckon Levy probably vetted the questions before going on the thing in the first place, and
100%.
Yeah, I think
I was thinking the same. I was thinking the same. It would have been limited questions, and they would have gone over it before the interview happened. Like, don't ask me this, don't ask me that, ask me this, don't ask me that.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. The next comment was on the protests from the last 8 months and if it hurts him, to which he replied, of course it hurts. Their pain is also my pain. I want to win, and when we're not playing well and when we're not winning, believe me, I suffer as well. I don't personally believe that, to be honest. I think if he's looking at the profits, that's what I think. I'm with you two on that.
Well, this is the thing, and when he's asked those sorts of questions, he always goes on about sustainability. It's like, you can't take gambles on this, you can't take gambles on that, because it's not sustainable. But we don't take any risk on anything, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I think that's spot on what he says there. Yeah, he is
Yeah,
out of
and it's fun. It's funny when he said, "When we lose, it hurts me." I'm like, "Yeah, it really hurts me. I've got billions of dollars in the bank account. Yeah, I'm really upset."
He's the
Piss
highest
off.
paid out of the Premier League, isn't he?
Yeah,
And I
and
think
he gets
one as well.
bonuses every year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was then asked about this on the sacking of Ange. This might interest you in Hotspur. Ultimately, the decision sits with me, but it's always a collective decision. We have a board of directors, but under the board, we have a group of technical staff and they advise. We had to explain the decision to part ways with Ange. Ange just won us a trophy, a European trophy, highly significant, and he's always going to be in our history. However, we couldn't lose sight of the fact that we finished 17th in the league. We lost 22 Premier League games, and it's impossible for Tottenham to be in that position. So we had to take the emotion out of it, and we had to give some data points as to why we decided what we did. Whichever level you do it, no one likes telling anyone you're losing your job. It's in the nature of football. We're there to win, and yes, we won a European trophy, and it was fantastic. But we also need to win on all fronts, and the Premier League says it all. Simon?
Well, this is the thing. Ultimately, you can't lose 22 league games in a season and keep your job. But that said, we should have probably bit the bullet at 15 defeats, not waited till the end of the season. Yeah. It's like we see it coming from a mile off, and it was like, all right, well, if he doesn't win the Carabao or doesn't win the Europa, then he's gone. And it's kind of like we'd probably got to March, and he probably should have been gone by then.
Yeah, yeah. Milton, what's the reaction?
We stuck out for some reason, and luckily, by some stroke of luck, we got a trophy out at the end of it. But 22 games, you can't lose more than half of your games in a season. No. It's like there are seasons, there are a number of seasons when you go down with the points tally we have.
Yeah, yeah. Milton, what's the reaction been over your way? Now the dust has settled a bit. What was the general reaction in Australia of Ange getting the sack despite winning the European trophy?
Well, to be honest, not being biased, being an Aussie, but what I want to bring out, 22 losses is, unexcusable. But tell me any manager out there that would have done better with the injury crisis we had and recruiting kids. Do you reckon Pep would have done a better job? In all honesty?
I guess the problem is like he was playing like everyone was like, oh, he's only got plan A, blah 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 blah. But then when you look at what he was doing in the cups, it was like he down tools in the league because he was just playing one way in the league and then he was playing how he needed to play in all the cups. So ultimately, there must have been some consensus across the club. Right, let's just ditch the league. We're not going to go down, so let's just focus on the cups because. You could see he was adaptable because the way we played in the semis, the quarters, and the final, that was nothing like how he plays in the Premier League. So he did have it in him to probably win more games. But I don't know if that's just Ange's decision to just ditch the Premier League or whether that's a collective decision.
Yeah, it might have been
the mindset of playing subconsciously. That's what I think is more to the truth, Simon.
Yeah, it could have been down to the players. They're thinking like, we're not going to get relegated. Who gives a rat's ass about the league? Let's just give 100% in this Europa League and win something. But in saying that, if Levy wants to win things, wouldn't you think he would have backed him in the transfer season with experienced players, not young kids? Yeah, young kids are good for the future, but we need ready-made players now. Yeah, and like I said, most football fans in Oz, because like I said, I've never met a Spurs fan face to face in Australia because it's all Arsenal and United. But even the Australian fans out here, they're like everyone wanted to see season 3.
Yeah, just to see what he could do.
Exactly.
The thing is, the Premier League football wasn't just shit this season. If you walk all the way back to we won the first 10 games of the previous season. Then there was that wild game against Chelsea. We got 2 injuries, 2 send-ins off, and pretty much everything from then has been utter crap. 100%. And it was almost like once we lost 4 of the start 11, people had worked us out, and so some saying, oh yeah, well you just ditched the Premier League, and some I think that the Premier League we got found out.
Yeah, I still don't believe. Just my opinion. I don't believe that he ditched it. I don't think anyone's going to go out there and purposely lose. And I've heard a couple of players saying we didn't do that after.
No, it's been a year and a half in the
Yeah.
making.
I think, as I said, I think subconsciously they might have gone on. They would have gone out there to win in the Premier League, but they wouldn't have gone out there full throttle. But subconsciously, they wanted to win. They thought this season's shit. Let's go for the cup. I think subconsciously, no one goes out there to lose. Surely to God.
I mean,
Surely.
you look at some of the defeats though, and the first one where I thought, geez, this is really bad, was like Palace hadn't won a game all season, and they came and although they only beat us 1-0, it was easy. They beat us easy. And then games like Ipswich and other games like that, you just think, how the hell are we losing games like this? They can't beat anybody, yet Dr. Tottenham turns up and away they go.
Yeah.
That was the same with the Everton game. Everton hadn't scored in 14 games. They put 3 in the first half. Same as Leicester. Leicester hadn't won a game in 12 games. Hadn't scored. Yep, here you go. Have 2 goals on your way.
Mental. The next thing,
we're just cursed.
Daniel Levy has stated that Thomas Frank will be supported. We will support him to the best of our ability.
There it is.
As soon as he said that, I knew. If you look at the transfer fees, we've been in the top 4 spenders since the stadium opened. We've spent close to 700 million net on new players. This isn't just about money. This is about luck, having the right balance of the team, having the right coach. There's a lot of things that have come together. So before I ask you about that, again, my opinion is he might have spent all that money, but he spent for 700 million. He's probably bought a lot of players, too many young players, and not the right players.
I don't see it as him spending money. The way he does it, I see it as him investing money. Yeah. He's speculating and he's buying young players with a bit of talent, and he's hoping that he can make money on these players. And that's what he's doing. And yeah, he has spent a few quid, but he hasn't been spending money on players that improve the squad immediately. He's been buying basically potential.
It's like we need players now, don't we, to come straight in, don't we, Milton?
Yeah. We desperately need a number 10 now. And it's like, are they going to go and do that? I'd be surprised.
We have spent money, but the recruitment has been
shit,
beyond poor. Like, we gave big wages at a big fee for Tango Ndombele, 60 million on Richarlison, 45 on Lo Celso. That's all wasted money. None of them have worked out. That's our issue there. I don't know if it's Levy or the scouting team or, the director of football. We haven't had no luck whatsoever in signing players that work out for us. That's our issue there.
Is that Levy's fault, though? Because obviously those players have been identified and Levy's gone, right, I'll go and buy them. So is that the scout, the ex-managers? Or you can't put all that on Levy, can you? I'm just trying to be like, in the middle here.
No, everyone has to take a bit of blame and responsibility. Like, they spent all that money on Ndombele, but they didn't do their, fine research saying that he had a bad attitude and he was a lazy player. Like, you got to find them fine details of margin to find that, correct play that suits us.
Yeah, because it wasn't hard to find out about Ndombele's past, was it? Even from when he was 18, 19.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. And then when situations like that occur, Levy's going to be thinking, "Fuck! I spent 70 million, 250 grand a week wages on a flop. I'm not doing that again." So that puts risk on him. He's thinking, "No, I can't take that risk again. Now I'll just buy young kids, and at least that way, At least that way, if I buy a young kid, I can still sell him for a profit or not lose much."
Well, speaking of players, Simon, because I haven't seen you for a while, what's your opinion on the Paulinho signing? I'm quite happy with it, to be honest.
I mean, look, if he performs anywhere near the level he performed at Fulham, then great. I was surprised we're bringing in a 30-year-old, but as it's a loan with no obligation to buy, so I guess it does a job for us right here and right now. And hopefully, if bringing in a loan means we can buy elsewhere. If we didn't get MGW, that means there must be 60 million burning a hole in our pocket somewhere. So hopefully that gets invested somewhere sensible. But you'd hope that isn't. We need at least 2 or 3 more players. So now we've got to replace a player we didn't even buy, Gibbs White, and now the player that he would probably be replacing is injured, and he's probably going to be out for the season. So it makes it even more important to buy that number 10 now, because now we've got no Gibbs White, and we've got no Madders either. So that position, and then the only other player that you think could he fill in that role would probably be Decky, and he's nowhere near back either. So it's like we literally don't have any creative player, and I know that there's always stuff. Oh yeah, is he supports us, or he's this and he's that. I'd still say put the money on the table and go and get him.
Well, I said on the last video, Simon, why hasn't anyone gone in to get? I cannot understand for the life of me why we haven't gone in for it. I really don't. Evening, sir. Well, before I come on to you, Milton, Thomas Frank said about Polina, it was always his abilities. And if you look at the squad, I don't think we have his ability or package as a clear number 6 with his profile, his defensive qualities, his ability to be in the centre of the pitch, very disciplined, his distribution, short diagonals, passes in behind, and then his ability to break up play, especially if you are playing away from home against good counter-attacking teams. It's very important to have one that, is not running away or gets attracted to something. His set-piece ability in both boxes is also a key thing, and he has some experience, which is good. Do you agree with all that?
Fucking unit.
He is.
You see the size of the boy? He's a monster.
You happy with that signing, Milton?
I saw the video of him meeting Porro, and he's like,
I saw that
7
clip.
inches taller than Porro.
Yeah,
he's a monster.
Me being Portuguese as well, I reckon his mum cheated on him, because most Portuguese blokes are 175 at best. He's 193, so I've never seen a Portuguese person that tall in my life, so I don't know what his mum's been doing. But I'm happy with the signing, because he's got that aggression, that mongrel that we don't have in midfield.
Yeah,
he's the kind of player that will get in and do all the dirty work and hit the ground running. He'll give everything on that pitch. So I feel that, like Spurs, we don't got that. We've got a team of Mr. Nice Guys. So I'm happy with the signing. And like mentioned before, if we get the Polina that was playing at Fulham, he'll be a very integral part to this team. And at 30 million euros to buy, it'd be a no-brainer if he hits the ground running.
Is there no concern from either of you that when he was at Fulham for the last season, he got 13 yellow cards? Is that not a concern? Or is it
part and parcel of being a number 6?
A good number 6, yeah.
That's the thing, at least,
If you're not getting booked as a number 6, you're not doing your job.
Yeah,
exactly right. I was going to say the exact same words a lot. If you're not getting booked as a defensive midfielder, well, you're not playing your position right.
Fair comments.
You have to be that mongrel in the middle of the pitch.
Well, if the transfer window was to shut now, going into this Champions League season, this at the moment is our attack. Tell, Odegaard, Johnson, Solanke, Ritchie, and Kudus. Plus, with Son gone, Madders and KULU injured, that's 67 goal contributions from last season now missing. Yet we are continually, apparently, after a centre-back, with Kim Min Jae from Bayern being linked with a move to North London. So, Simon, why are they being linked to yet another centre-back, and why aren't they going for the likes of Eze or even with Grealish on loan? What's going on?
I mean, I have no idea. I don't know why they're not going to give. It looks like they're going to put Vuskovic out on loan, and I'm just like, what are you thinking? He looks ready now, and he's not going to be the first choice. He's going to be behind Danso. He's going to when Radu's back, he's going to be behind him as well. So, but he's better cover for that position than Archie would be, or even Ben would be. But it's just like, why, if we have got limited money to spend, why are we spending it on an area where we've already got so many players? So many players who could do a job. And even when you look at Ben and Archie, the job they did for us last year, but this time Danso's still around and Rado will be back soon enough. So you just think, what are you doing? We need a number 10 desperately. We need more firepower. It feels like, well, I'm not even sure. I know we leaked too many goals last season, but I think with Palhinha in front of the back five, you've already got a step up from where we were last season. And it's like, what are we going to be doing going forward?
What do you reckon, Milton?
Yeah, I don't think looking for CBs.
I reckon like Vuskovic, he's got a lot of potential, but with limited game time, if he was at Spurs, it's not going to really develop him. So I thought Frank's thinking, well, he's not going to get much game time here. If we can send him out, to Germany or a championship team, he's going to get a lot more minutes now to get better than what he would if he stayed at Spurs. So I'm happy with him going on loan, give it 12 months loan, see how he performs, then introduce him into the first team. Let him play, a few games in the league, played the league, the FA Cup and the league games. So we'll see how he goes on loan with all the other loanees, but they got to get game time. So see what happens from there.
Another link to surface yesterday, especially since the Maddison injury, is Man City's Jack Grealish. Spurs are apparently thought to want to do a year loan, but want City to help with the wages. As he's currently on 300 grand a week, Spurs are apparently happy to pay between 150 and 200. So with Maddison being out, would you be happy with a season loan for Grealish, Simon?
I think City have already said that whoever takes him has to pay the whole thing, and that's 300 grand a week. That's 15 mil just on the wages. And so I don't think it's a starter, but it feels like Everton are probably a lot further down the track than we are now anyway.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
15 mil for a year of Jack Grealish, I don't think it's worth it.
No,
15 mil for a year of Jack Grealish 2 or 3 years ago, maybe, but he hasn't been anywhere near first team football for a long time now, and I don't think he's what we need.
I was going to say I would have took it as long as he wasn't played wide. I think he's wasted wide. When he was for Villa, he was a bit more central, much better, but he's stagnated at sea, and that's because he's on the left, I think. Don't need another.
I guess if the player he's trying to replace is Madders, is he equal to or better than? Probably, actually, but it still is not really what I would be looking for. I want to be looking for a long-term solution to that, and I still think playing Eze through the middle would be my number one choice.
Yeah, same as that. But it's worrying that attack what I read out, isn't it, Si?
Yeah,
going for Champions League season. That's not even good enough for the Premier League, is it? Let's be honest.
Well, you look at who we've got available now and what they contributed last year. And it's small stuff like Odeberg spent half the season injured, and Mattel was just like trying to make his way through. Brennan, he contributed the most goals out of anybody, so I guess that there is that still. But yeah, I'm struggling to feel optimism from it.
What would you think, Milton? Of our attack, it's poor, isn't it?
Oh, we're toothless. That's it. Like. If we don't sign at least 3 decent players, we are going to absolutely get battered in Champions League. We'll have no chance of, progressing through the next stage. But see what happens. Levy said he wants to win the league in Champions League. This is where you got to, pull your purse out and start spending in pounds. But with Grealish, I would have taken him 3 years ago, not now. Yeah. And not for 300 grand. Not for 300 grand a week. Like,
no, as I said,
that's wasted money.
Yeah, apparently he is going to. Hello, Lee. Apparently he is going to Everton.
Everton.
Yeah, and I think that's about right for him, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
I think if we bought Eze and Kolomwani, I would be happy with that.
This is the thing, Simon. So frustrating, isn't it? Because you only need a couple of players like that, what you just mentioned, and we'd be okay. You go from a disastrous window to a good window. Yeah. But we seem to say this every season. So
no, what I wanted to mention as well, pardon me, the players that we've been linked with, a lot of them don't want to leave their low-day clubs like that. Randall Colomboani, he wants Juve. He's like, I don't want to go back to PSG. I love Juve, but Juve can't afford him. So that's going to be hard. You got, I know it's BS, but links with Rafael Leao. He loves AC Milan. He doesn't want to leave, but they need the money. So it's going to be hard to attract them big name players when they're happy where they are, but their clubs can't financially keep them.
And with Allegri coming in, I'd be surprised if he lets him go as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If a player who is being forced to move where they don't want to be, are they going to give it 100%? I know they're professionals, but in their mind, they'll be thinking, fuck this shit. I don't want to be here. This weather's terrible. I've left, beautiful Spain or beautiful Italy for this shit. So it's gonna be hard, but only time will tell. See what happens.
It's funny about that because Spurs were reportedly supposed to have bid 87 million for Real Madrid winger Rodrigo, according to a couple of Spanish outlets. I did laugh as well. I put on my notes here, I doubt this is true as to why any club would bid more than the selling club's valuation for a start, especially Tottenham. And later reports suggest that the player would rather stay and fight for his place. I think this could be bullshit, or it would be one of those Levy things where he's tried to go after a star player half-heartedly just so he could say, we tried again, which we've been here before, haven't we? He's not going to want to come to Real Madrid to Tottenham Hotspur.
That was the same with Mark Gay here. We put in a $70 million bid, but we tried.
Yeah, well, I think
it's all BS.
Yeah, we put in a 70 million bid, 10 million up front, and then 10 million a year for the next 6 years or some stupid shit like that, probably. Well, and that's the thing, is like he won't pay the price, and then he tries to structure the deal so that they take forever to get their money.
But this is what I said, Simon. I don't know if you got a chance to watch a live that I done on my own about the finances of the club and that. Because of his clever way of structuring deals, it's now hit to the point where we owe between 330 and 350 million pounds on past transfers. For example, they've had to slap another 40 million pounds down this summer to pay off for the Romero transfer. So it's all right doing that on a couple of deals, but not on every single one, because now we've hit the wall, haven't we? Hence why there isn't any ready cash available. But then the other thing is Spurs have made 6 youth prospects, that Vuskovic, Donnelly, Lancashire, George Abbott, the Minhook and Tyrese Hall, all available for loan. A few of them have completed their loan since I wrote all this down. So getting rid of all those players, as well as not buying, we're very, very thin in terms of squad depth, quality depth. So surely something's got to be going on in the background, surely. Or they just, because if not, it's utter madness. Simon?
I mean, they must know something that we don't, because there's a couple of players in there that I wouldn't be letting go until we've secured a strong enough squad to start the season. And at this point in time, we don't have that. And season starts in what, a week and a half?
Yeah. It's absolutely mental, isn't it? We've got PSG next week. Well, we've got Bayern tomorrow. And then we got PSG in the Super Cup. I'm absolutely dreading the PSG.
We're going to get slapped.
Well, we are.
Our only hope is that PSG are probably still on holiday at the moment.
I think they've been back for 3 weeks only. That's it. But they're not going to be.
When did the World Club Cup finish? It was only a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, yeah.
3 weeks. 3 weeks ago.
I've got another question, Simon, for you. Right. If there isn't a lot of ready cash available and we have to sell to buy, 5:30 tomorrow night, if we've got to sell to buy and they knew this, then why haven't they sold anyone yet? We've never been a very good club at selling or getting rid of players that we don't want.
No.
It's a mess, isn't it? As I said, the headline, it is an absolute mess. We are in trouble at the moment, aren't we?
What have we sold?
Nothing.
We sold what, Sonny for 15 mil?
Yeah.
What else?
Well, I think we got 20 million. He managed to get up to 20 million, but that's nothing, is it? I don't usually try and dramatise things, right? But at the moment, I've got to admit, as it stands, I'm panicking. I mean, everyone's saying to me, or a few are saying to me, look, Lange always does things close to his chest. Kudos still came out of nowhere. The Morgan Gibbs White, even though it didn't come off, came out of nowhere. So I'm just praying that this is the same again. Because all the people that I know and links and all that are just guessing at the moment. It's been the worst guessing I've ever seen on social media this year. And there's usually, you know what I mean? Normally people have got substantial links and you can put your hat on it. No one really knows what's going on at all.
Well, look at it.
Peachy's back
Look
yet.
at it, right. So this season, the top four are going to be Liverpool, City, Arsenal, and Chelsea. And look what they're doing in the market.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got their business done. I mean, Arsenal might probably still go out and buy another player, maybe someone similar. And if they do, they're going to be pretty frightening themselves. And but if Liverpool get Isaac, I can't see past them for the title. But you look at all those top four teams, and they've done all their business. They're just like looking for icing on the cake now. We haven't even bloody made the cake.
We haven't even bought the ingredients for the cake.
It's in a bag of flour and some eggs over there.
Let me ask you, Milton, yeah? How the hell are Manchester United spending the amount of money which they are? That's the first one for you. And the second one applies as well to Chelsea.
What was that last bit you said? Sorry.
Well, let's stop. Manchester United near the end of last season was making their canteen staff redundant to save money. Yet they're going out spending like they've won the lottery. How are they doing that? And how are Chelsea just spending and spending and spending and spending? How are they getting away with this, these two teams?
They get away with blue murder, to be honest. They can spend whatever they want. Man United, they're acting like they're broke, but they've got money in their account, so they're spending it. I reckon they're acting poor so they can get players on a cheaper deal. Chelsea, the same like Man City, they can spend whatever they want without, any consequences or any repercussions. And one thing I wanted to say, what pisses me off is, why do Spurs always leave a late-sided players? What do you act like a big club? Get the players in now so they have a pre-season and know the manager's tactics.
I'll say that every season.
What's the point of buying a player on deadline day? It's going to take 3-4 months for them to know their role and tactics. So that's halfway through the season. Well, all these big clubs are buying players, and before ball's even kicked, they've already been working under the manager for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But we say this every season, don't we, with Tottenham? No planning. But Simon,
there isn't a planning.
How are they getting away with this? I can't get my head around it with this supposed to be like sustainability or whatever they call that thing. I can't understand how they're doing it.
No, I mean, I have no idea. Who are they selling to cover it off? Because I'm not really seeing their outgoings.
They haven't sold anyone at the moment.
So Arsenal must have bought at least a couple. They bought Madueke, haven't they? So who else did they?
They bought that
Gorkarez. And there is a no good.
What I'm saying is, I said at one of my other videos, right? As soon as the transfer window opened, the actual free cash that clubs have got, Spurs were top of that. They had 79 million cash.
Liverpool had 7.
Top of that, they had 7. So where are they getting this money from? I just can't understand it. Are they bending the rules by doing it over longer term contracts? Because I think that's what Chelsea were doing, but I thought that had been made to stop. I just don't understand it. And we're spending nothing virtually. I don't get it. I just hope or if anyone out there's got an answer, please, are able to spend so much this year because they had a quiet summer last year. Fair enough. But I mean, Chelsea, they got about 50
maybe they got an investment by Mr. Banks, first name Robin.
But it needs
yeah,
to be looked into, doesn't it?
Liverpool, you can see how they're doing it. They didn't spend nothing last year, and then they've already sold Diaz, and it looks like the Nunes is pretty much gone as well.
Yeah.
So if they probably have 150 to 200 per year to spend, they're probably going to do the 2-year spend this summer.
Yeah.
So,
And
I think it's really
last season, all they got was all Liverpool bought was that Chiesi, and they also saw their second goalkeeper, is it Callahan or whatever his name is?
Mhm.
He went to Brentford for like 20 odd mil. So like you said, Simon, they're spending 2 years of transfer money in one transfer season.
Maybe
fair play
Manchester
to 'em.
United are gambling. If they know they've got to sell, so maybe they'll make one more signing. Is it that Sesko they've apparently got now? So
it looks like that.
they're gambling. Instead of doing the selling first, they're gambling, unlike us, and just spending and just hoping they can recoup like at least half of it with the sales.
Or maybe United know that they've got 5 or 6 players they've agreed to sell, and they're acting like they're poor buying players, and then, you know, come deadline day, they've offload, like Rashford and Garnacho and Kobe Mainoo and whoever. So I reckon they know they're selling players. It's already been agreed, but the word hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, that might be a good shout, actually. Yeah. Right, before we go then, is there anyone you'd like to see us going for in Milton before the window shuts or even before the season starts?
For me, I've said this a million times over, but the player's already gone. The player I would have bought is Francisco Conceição. He was at FC Porto. He had a loan deal at Juve, and they've bought him. They paid 30 million euros to be paid over 4 years. He can play left, right, attacking mid. This kid is class. Even for the big stage in Portugal, he's not afraid to take on his player. He's a tricky winger, left and right foot. He's got pace. He's got all the dribbling skills. He is one quality signing. And you know what? I could see Juve in 4 years' time selling him for about 80 million. That would have been a player I would have gone for. He's 21, 22. He's only a short fella. He's only 5'7", but for a small bloke in height, he's built like a brick shithouse. If you ever watch him play, he's just mustard. And I follow Porto, have been all my life, and when I seen him play for Porto, like 17 years old, I'm like, I want him at Spurs. He would have been a player I would have gone for, but he's gone.
And cheap as well.
Cheap, at over 4 years. So what? £24 million. So you're paying what? £6 million a year for a player that you can double or triple his money within 2 years.
That sounds like
and Porto. And Porto don't, as a club, we don't pay big wages. So at Porto, he would have been maybe on about 25,000 euros a week, because we don't pay big wages. Our top earners are like 50, 60 million euros a week, and that's like pushing the boundaries.
Simon, anyone you want to see? Anyone that we haven't gone for?
I said earlier, based on the amount that we'd be likely to spend and availability on the market, if we got Eze and Koulibaly, I'd say that they're about our price, 50 to 60 million, and they would improve our squad. So in my mind, that's pretty much the most realistic thing that we could probably go for. And they're both available.
Sorry, one that slipped my mind just come in, and I forgot to put it on my notes before I come on. Lookman is another one. Do you know much about him, any of you guys? Lookman is someone that Spurs are looking at, apparently. Another one they're looking at.
Yeah. Funny one, though, because he only seems to last like a year, 18 months, 2 years maximum everywhere he goes. He's been here, there, and everywhere throughout his career. I don't know what it is, whether it's an attitude thing or whether he believes he's better than where he is or what it is, but he never stays anywhere.
Yeah, that's not
good. He didn't cut the mustard in EPL, because wasn't he here at Fulham and Everton or Leicester?
Yeah, and he's like way back in time. He was at like Charlton, I think. And
yeah, like for me, he's like a tampon. He's good for 1 week and out for 3. He's inconsistent. Like, he's inconsistent.
I like that.
That's our problem. Like, you know, we get players that have potential, but they're not consistent. what's the point of that? Like, and then, you know, we need players that are going to be available and fit. Like, you know, like we had Højbjerg, he never missed a game, and we get rid of him. And then we buy players like Richarlison and fucking Lo Celso. They can't even fucking stay fit. But when it comes to the national team, they're fucking, I'm ready, boys. I would have won Lookman. He suited Italian league because it's a lot slower and less physical. Because he's not a big fella. He's only about my height, like 5'8", 5'9". So, but yeah, I would have touched him with a 10-foot pole, to be honest.
There's not many outstanding forwards about that are available, is there, anymore at the moment?
No, and then you got all that talks like with Dusan Vlahovic, but he's on like 325k a week.
Yeah, they want to get rid of him for about 20 million.
15 million, I think they're asking, but no one's going to pay his wages.
To be honest, yeah, I know it'd probably be the wages, but they've got.
Levy will be like, but Levy will offer him, I'll give you $12 a week and a free jersey and a pair of socks. There you go, buddy. We're never going to spend big wages. As much as we want to believe we're a big club, we're not. We're a big business. That's what we are. We're not a football club.
Talking of things
we're a
that
business.
against the players, did you see Harry Kane's box on that interview?
Yeah.
Mental.
So how many of the players get one of those?
I don't know, man.
I think just him.
That was better than my house, Simon.
It was unreal.
That kitchen was bigger than my house.
That's what Neville said, didn't he? I think we're going to be a massive club, and we will act like a massive club once the stadium's paid off. And that's going to be a long time.
Didn't he say he's got a 35-year loan on it?
Yes, mental. I was reading a few facts and figures the other day, basically saying if they got this huge investment, you could halve that in terms of paying it off. So we've got to wait that long if we're still here.
Well, naming rights would help pay it off as well, wouldn't it?
But that's what I'm on about. If they do get that investment, they were saying like, it's stuck. We are proper stuck and in the shit. And I can't understand for the life out of me why we aren't
6 years in. Why hasn't he done it yet?
Yeah. It's mental.
I just want to say, by the time we pay off the stadium, we'll all be 6 feet under the ground.
That's what I mean. That's what I said. If we're still here, it's typical, isn't it? Well, I don't know if there's anything else that you guys want to add. I know it's a bit of a depressing one tonight. I'm hoping that there'll be a big signing, but there's not really much to cheer about, is there?
It's a bit off topic, but I wanted to bring up. I feel a bit sorry for Newcastle. Like every player they want to sign, they're getting rejected.
Well, the thing is,
I don't know why is that.
I'll tell you what that is. That's because of where they are. If you're a professional footballer, you want the glitz and glamour of the nice parts of London, shall we say. You don't want to go up to Newcastle, which is basically right near Scotland, where it's absolutely freezing cold. It's a very dull place. Apparently the nightlife's all right. 4 women to every bloke. That's good. But they want to go to London. Isn't it, Simon? All these footballers want to play in London. It's
and
really
the thing is the fan base up there. Every game, I mean, St James's would be one of the best places to play.
Yeah.
The fan base is mental, and they would absolutely love you to bits.
Yeah.
But I mean, at this point in time, I still don't know why so many people are turning Newcastle down and going to United. I don't get it at this point.
Yeah. I don't get that either. Like my brother's a massive Newcastle fan, and he's even said, he goes, when he's old enough to retire, he wants to move to Newcastle, live there forever.
Well, tell him to get some thermals, Milton, because it's bloody cold up
there. You know what? My brother and dad, it doesn't matter how cold it is, my brother and dad, all year round, shorts, T-shirt, and flip-flops.
But they'll fit in well. There's a geezer that goes to every single one of Newcastle's games. It don't matter if it's a blizzard. He's a big fat suit. He's always there, Simon, no shirt on.
Yeah.
They are passionate people up there.
My brother and dad, always, he could literally be -5 shorts and a T-shirt.
But that might be, I'll say it, Simon, that might be Eddie Howe's, not his own downfall, but that might be why eventually he'll want to come out of that club, because he can't get the players that he wants to. And he is a decent manager, to be fair, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's done a good job, and he's got them into the Champions League, and That's everything for them up there, isn't it?
And, now
And they won a trophy.
Yeah, now he's got all that crap with Isaac, or Isaac, however you pronounce his name, who's been totally unprofessional.
Isaac.
Yeah.
He's been a douche. He's got a Liverpool, isn't he?
I'd imagine so, yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah, because I know
right.
they're after Sesko, and Sesko rejected him. They're after Mbemo and all these other players, and they can't get anyone.
See,
and surely they can pay decent wages.
I mean, they're talking about Ollie Watkins now, and it's just like you've been talking about Gyökeres, Sesko, and all these people, Etikite, and all these people, and keeping Isaac. And now it's like those three have all turned them down, and Isaac's refusing to he's down tools. So
I don't agree with him. I don't agree with him down in tools. No. I don't agree with it. That's just to me. You know what I mean? His attitude shit to do that. But yeah, that's my answer to it anyway, Milton, because that's what I've read and heard as well. It's because of the place. I mean, me and Simon will tell you that London, no offence to Londoners out there, most of London's a shithole. But if you're a millionaire, there are glamorous places to be in there, so you know what I mean? That's where all the footballers, where all the glitz and the glamour is, where the money is. You know what I mean? Where it's not like that. Newcastle, I'm not knocking Newcastle for all the fancy money and want to kill me. Newcastle itself is a lovely place, but it's just bloody freezing. And all these footballers, it's London. If you go abroad, you probably yourself, London's great, London this, London that. As soon as someone mentions the UK, I want to go London. That's all it is.
See, if I was a football player, I'd be like, what town or suburb has the cheapest beer? That's where I'll play.
Yeah, but you can't drink loads of beer now, all these professionals. Everyone's you can't even have a bit of ketchup on your meal now, can you?
Yeah, you can't have sugar, can't have ketchup, can't have anything.
Well, that wraps it up for me, mate.
Yeah, see what happens.
Hopefully we'll get a signing in the next 24 hours and we can all be happy again.
I can't see it happening. I honestly think it'll be deadline day and it'll be 2 players. Don't know what position or who, but it'll be deadline day, 2 players tops.
I bet Simon's having and then Burner coming back.
Oh, that is not happening. That better not happen.
I think because of what he said, he wants to do this now. I think, and don't forget, it might be a little bit of Thomas Frank, all this, you know. He's got to be double certain, isn't he? Apparently, he was saying yesterday, he's got to be double certain that who he wants to get rid of, you know, who he wants to keep. And it might be a little bit of that to it, but they're going to have to hurry up, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, the season's 10 days away now, so they need to hurry the hell up.
So let's just pray. That's all we can do it. All right, lads, thanks for coming on. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me on, mate. Likewise, good to see you boys.
We'll be able to chat to you soon with some brilliant news. Shalom to you all.
Shalom. Peace out.
See you, guys.